You're listening to the Surgeons of Horror podcast.
The Predator franchise discussion, part 2.
Yeah, and this is a great moment because now they get you're pretty much getting the impression they're getting knocked off one by one.
Yeah.
They're going across a ravine that has been bridged by a fallen tree.
Yeah.
So it's like they have to literally walk tippy toe across.
Yeah.
And Billy's the last one, and he just stops.
Yes.
Turns around and just takes off all of his weaponry, all of his armor, throws his gun into the river, and Dutch's going, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, Billy's he's realised he's going to die. He's accepted that, and he wants to die a man. Pulls out his machete, cuts the machete across his chest for some reason. Because
I always thought that was something to do with the native.
I think it's a Native American thing. I'm just
thing,
thinking
but
infection. Like you're going to die, but why add more salt to the room? But yeah, it's a Native American thing. But yeah, and all you see,
they all do it.
You see the no.
Oh, I did.
But you see the Predator's point of view as it comes over the ridge.
Yeah.
You see Billy infrared, and there's an extra bright light where he's just recently cut himself.
Yeah.
And then and that's it. That's all you see, and you hear him scream.
Yeah.
And obviously the Predator's killed him as well.
So like my thing with this, right, is I remember when I first watched it, and even I think my cousin and I agreed, like there is this sense that Billy is this fucking hard as nails dude, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of think, even like all due respect to Arnie, you kind of got the impression that he was probably a bit more like if he was to take on the Predator, there would have been some damage out of it. I'm not saying that he would have necessarily killed the Predator, but he would have done more harm.
He's a warrior.
Yeah, that's right.
Through and through.
And I remember we going, that felt such a wasted moment.
Yeah, it could have been a cool. It's like in Predators.
Yes.
When the samurai takes on the Predator. I kind of got it as a cool moment, but it was kind of a waste as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would have been cool. But at the same time, as a kid, even though I remember thinking this is an Arnold vehicle, but Billy was painted as a really fucking cool character.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And from the Predator's point of view,
yes,
I did start seeing it from the Predator's point of view, thinking, okay, I'll get rid of that guy. The rest should be kind of easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a cool character. The way he died was either cool or not. But it could have been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, you didn't want to take any focus off Arnold. But at the time when I watched this, and I don't know if you thought that, I was thinking, how the fuck is Arnold going to get out of this?
Yeah, no, I definitely was.
And you really think this a few seconds later, because later it's just him carrying Poncho. Yeah. Poncho going, I can make it.
Yeah, I can still make it.
The girl...
He's still in that forest going, I can still make it.
The girl picks up a gun.
Yes.
To shoot at it. And Arnold kicks it out of her hand saying, it won't attack you. I don't know where you got this fucking theory from.
No, that was going to ask you that. Don't do it. It's okay.
Don't touch it. Because, he's not a fucking... this guy clearly is intelligent. He'll kill you if he wants to.
Yeah.
But he says, you're no sport. So.
But it's a mythos that then carries on.
It does.
With the other franchise.
Ones, when it won't kill a pregnant woman.
No.
Which my friend Charlie Close, Charlie Chuck, who you'll meet at the wedding, came up with the theory that they're female.
Oh, cool.
But it's a female, which is why it won't kill a pregnant woman.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I always thought the reason he did it was because it's a future game for him to hunt.
Potentially that too. Always give back. Always give back. When you pick up a fish, it's like that. Throw it back in the water.
Exactly.
So basically, Poncho at this point gets the side of his head shot off or something. He gets shot.
Yeah, he's
dead. So now it's Arnold. So Arnold tells the girl to get back to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. Again, of a guy who's got a career full of iconic lines.
Yeah,
that's right up there.
Yeah.
That's right up there with "I'll be back."
Yeah.
So the girl runs, and he's been shot as well. His gun's been shot as well.
Yeah.
So he's partially wounded.
Yes.
And he crawls, and this is the man I'm thinking he's dead. He's fucked.
Yeah.
Because there's just no realistic way he can take this guy on.
No.
And so he's crawling to his death, and he slips and he falls down a side of a hill.
Yeah.
Covered in mud, lands into
water first. Yeah,
water.
Get covered in mud until he comes out of it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, water, and he swims.
Yeah.
He comes up into this cul-de-sac of a tree.
But before that, this is a great shot because he slumps on the bank into this mud, face down, and then he's gone, like he's done, right?
Yeah.
And then you just see in the background the splash
of this thing landing,
and you're like, oh shit!
For fuck's sake! It's where you're thinking, oh, maybe he escaped.
Yeah,
it's now done.
yeah.
And again, you're thinking, I honestly don't see a way he can get out of this.
No.
The writers come up with some bullshit,
and they do,
which is. This thing decloaks itself.
Yeah.
So you finally get an image of what it is. It's humanoid, 2 arms, 2 legs, torso.
Yeah.
But it's clearly alien in nature.
Yeah.
and it can't see Arnold.
You can't see him.
Yeah.
Mm.
And at the time, thinking, okay, at the time, mud doesn't do that, but at the same time, I did think as a kid, maybe it's science fiction infrared, and it just doesn't pick up mud. But he gets a reprieve, and you kind of in the heat of the moment.
What's this weird stuff on the floor that's squidgy? I can't see it. It feels weird.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
And I thought the movie earned the moment. As a kid, I thought, okay.
I do too. Do you know, like, I still remember going back, trying to, when it's looking for Arnie at that moment, everything's blue, trying to see if I could actually see Arnie in the blue.
Yeah. I did. I remember seeing it.
Yeah, no, I think I did. Yeah.
But
yeah,
it is
fucking nutter.
Yeah, but he stayed still. And there's a nice moment where the alien, when he gives up, he slumps his shoulders.
Yeah.
So again, it's giving it a human quality, but it's kind of like
it's the Charlie Brown moment in Peanuts.
It's like, oh man, I really want to kill that guy.
Damn it.
And then he walks off.
Yeah.
And Arnold says, "You can't see me." He tweets, "You can't see me. It's because of the mud."
Yeah. That's it.
And then it goes into
MacGyver moment again.
the MacGyver moment. So he ends up.
He has all this time to build up all these traps, right?
Yeah.
And cover himself in excrement while the Predator's polishing some skulls.
Yeah. Well, that was... Oh, actually, before this, there's a moment... Again, sorry, we did skip a bit. There's a moment where, when they shot him in the forest, they actually winged...
Yeah. The other iconic line.
Okay. And the Predator... if it bleeds, it dies. Whatever.
If it bleeds, we can kill it, yeah.
And then the Predator actually decloaks himself for the first time in the movie then.
Yes.
And you kind of see him. He's like, he's a humanoid figure.
Yep.
And he performs self-surgery. Like he's
jacks himself up to the eyeballs on some
some sort of painkiller. And then he pulls out the bullet and he hurts himself and he screams. And that's the scream that echoes throughout the forest. And that's when the girl tells the story.
Yes.
There's something happening. That this has happened before.
Yeah.
So, there's a moment where it's a showdown moment where he's going to issue a challenge to the scene.
Yes.
Sets up all these MacGyver traps.
Yep.
Whilst the alien throws a body against the tree, which I thought was the girl, but it's actually Billy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because the girl survives.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because it's a pale... I mean, it's somebody who's got blood and they're pale, but somebody with long black hair. You see half an eye and long black hair, and it just looked female.
Yeah, right.
But apparently it's Billy, and he literally pulls out Billy's spine and skull from his back, and that's his trophy.
Nice.
Which he polishes, which is a nice move.
Yeah.
And then so Arnold sets this thing up, takes him all day, sits up in the middle of the night, makes random fires around this camp, and then he screams like a Tarzan scream, issue a challenge to this thing. Goes, "Ah!" And they have this fight.
The Predator says, "Wait, I'm cleaning."
Yeah, it's like, all right, fair enough, I'll join you in a second. And then
have a fight.
Yeah.
So probably the best. This is the moment where you talk about the fact that it should have been Jean-Claude Van Damme that was playing.
Yes, so one of the biggest confusions for me, because again, we didn't get stuff off the internet like you kids today.
Yeah.
We used to get stuff off magazines, like Starlog magazine and film magazines, that you'd find out years later about how these films were made.
Yeah.
But one of the big things was that Jean-Claude Van Damme, several years later, was starting to make it big as the poor man's Arnold.
Yes.
And he said, I got my first break by playing the Predator in Predator.
Yeah.
And then people came out and said, that's fucking bullshit, dude. The credits say it's Marcus... What's his name?
Kevin Peter Hall.
Kevin Peter Hall, who's a basketball player.
Yeah.
And he played a character in this TV series where it's like a precursor to the X-Men. He's big pals and he can shrink himself.
Yes.
But that was he played the Predator.
Yeah. And
everybody's going, nah, fucking John Hogan's a liar, blah, 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 blah. And they're both right. It's both true. He did play the Predator. And the first version of the Predator looked really alien. He looked like the Hammerhead character in the Cantina sequence in Star Wars.
Yeah.
With a flatter head.
Yes.
And it was one of those things where I'm thinking, okay, well, it probably looked alien and exotic enough on paper.
Yeah.
They tried it. It's only when they saw it in the camera, they're like...
That's right.
They've done such... John McTiernan, director we should talk about later, did such a good job of building up this menace.
Yes.
When you finally see it, it's like, And so the studio thought we've done such a good job at this point. Let's reinvest in reshoots and rebuild this thing. Let's go to this bloke called Stan Winston. Who's done a pretty good job in this movie called Aliens.
Yeah.
Stan's on a plane to back to LA or something
with James Cameron.
James Cameron's next to him, and James Cameron says, "What are mandibles?"
Yeah.
And so, what do you mean? And James sketched out a creature with mandibles for teeth. And that was what they went with.
Yeah.
Vagina mouth.
Vagina mouth. Yeah.
And just came up with a creature that works. Really fucking
well. Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why it resonates so well as well. Like the creature design had to work for it to be a disbelievable thing.
To earn this thing,
Yeah.
And so they have this fight, and the first fight is Arnold's camouflaged as well.
Yes.
But the creature almost crawls on top of him. That's off.
That's a great shot. Too.
Arnold grabs a rope and swings across to another tree silently.
Yeah.
And then what happens? He fires an arrow or something. A incendiary arrow that explodes.
Yes, that's right.
And that glitches this thing's armor.
Yeah.
And so this thing can now be visible.
Yeah.
And then it starts firing laser bolts randomly around the place.
That's right.
At one point, Arnold gets into the water or something.
Yeah. He tries to jump, and the twig breaks or something, and he ends up into the water. So now he's uncloaked, as it were.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they do, and he tries to crawl out, and then you get that the thing goes over his predator comes up and puts his spike things.
That's right. So Arnold. Yeah, so Arnold was doing quite well at some point.
Yeah.
And then he started. Yeah, but when he loses his cloak, effectively he's in the water now.
Yeah.
And he's got to crawl away, and this predator just slams his two Wolverine claws, I call it, around his head to pin him down to the log.
Yeah.
And you realise, oh, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Then that's right. And the predator picks him up, looks at his skull admiringly, because it's going to take off the skin in a second. And then he does this cool thing where he just takes off his armour.
Yeah.
One by one.
Mano a mano.
He wants that because Arnold's earned this right.
Yeah.
The predator clearly thinks this guy's worth it.
Yeah. But it's also a kind of a gloating thing too, because it's like, I could easily dispatch you.
Yeah.
But I want to have a bit of fun with you.
Well, I think it's saving the moment. Because I think there's very few humans. It's clear this guy has not been challenged a lot.
No.
And he wants, you're right, he wants to save the moment against somebody this guy's worth it. This is really cool. It's a really cool. And when he takes off his mask, even the way he takes off his mask, really, a human being wouldn't take off a mask like that. He holds his hands over his face like a hand. And he takes off. So again, it's alien but human.
Yes.
It's done a lot of things right.
Yeah, I agree.
And he takes it off, and then he's directly blind as well. Like he can't see Arnold that clearly.
No, that's right. Yeah.
And then Arnold looks at him with the classic line, "You're one ugly motherfucker."
Yeah.
Which always cuts out just before the TV version.
Yes.
And this thing screams at him, and they go mano a mano. And Arnold picks up a log, throws it at him, just swings it at his head, which he breaks with a block of hand. Bad idea. And and then literally this thing kicks the shit out of Arnold, which again is Arnold's a Terminator. He's Conan the Barbarian. The fact that this thing can kick the shit out of mano a mano, again you're thinking, well, how can he survive this?
Yeah, that's right.
So this thing beats the shit out of Arnold. Arnold runs off, crawls. And at one point during he sets a booby trap, you see him set a booby trap, which is a counterweight booby trap.
Yes.
It's a giant log thrown with a rope tied to the end of a rope, thrown over a branch.
Yes.
Which he pulled up by himself.
Yes.
And latched around a twig.
Yeah.
Which is designed to catch you. If you step on it, it'll pull you up and yank you into these spiked, literally wooden spikes that he set up just above as a trap. So he's climbed down past, and he's climbed over the booby trap moment to try and pull him down into this ravine, this little ridge, so it'll come down and follow him.
Come on.
Yeah, come here. Kill me. Come here. And this creature can't understand him. And again, this is fantastic. Every word that the Predator said to lure people over here, come around, come here, actually makes sense, but you don't know if it knows it's saying the right word. It was just, to him, it's making dog noises. Or bird noises to call a bird.
Yes.
It's so good because the words do work, but you don't know if he knows that. So Arnold's speaking to it, and he's looking at it, but he got the idea that he can't understand what Arnold's saying, but at the same time he's thinking, this doesn't feel right.
Yes.
He looks up, sees the spikes, and goes, I realise this is a trap now.
Yeah.
Walks around the spikes, and you realise Arnold just goes, fuck.
Yeah.
And then literally stands under the counterweight. And Arnold twigs this at the very last second, so he kicks the trap, and the counterweight falls in this thing.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be heavy enough to do some damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your thought on this, going back to, as I said, this being one of the most male testosterone-fueled films I've ever seen, where the Predator gets basically squashed by a giant dildo?
I never saw it. My only thought was, it's such a strong creature. It probably comes from a heavier gravity planet.
Yeah.
So that impact wouldn't be as powerful as it would be on something like Arnold.
Yeah.
Arnold had to be strong enough to pull it up himself. So my first thought was, would that be enough to hurt it?
Mm.
So that's all I thought.
Yeah, cool.
So,
well, like the thing with that though, I always took it that this guy was young. The Predator was young.
There's a theory postulated by the director of the second film
Yeah.
that he wasn't. The second Predator was young because the second Predator takes more risks.
Ah, okay.
And this
That's
Predator
true,
was
does.
a bit more
Ah,
serious.
and it makes sense too. We'll come to that too.
Yeah.
So there's a moment there. You're right. So he's kind of like bleeding basically out,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this kind of green kind of
It's
glow in the
amazing.
dark.
Yeah. It
Ooze.
spits
And there's a bit where
and it goes up his nose.
Yeah.
It's so great.
I love it.
And he's dying.
He's dying.
But yeah, when he first started the move, you thought this is the Terminator mode where it comes
Yeah.
back to life, but it hasn't.
No.
So again, it's very good. In the
Plays
sense
on
it doesn't. Because I remember the kid thinking, is it going to be like the Terminator where it just doesn't die?
Yeah.
But no, he is dying and he's
Yeah.
fucked. And Arnold's about to take its head off with a rock.
Yeah.
And then drops it because he realizes it can't move.
No.
And as a kid, you're thinking, no, kill it because it's
Yeah.
still alive.
Yeah.
But he says, what are you? And again, it parrots it back.
Yeah.
And you don't know is it parroting back a noise or it understands the words. What
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it does this really cool moment where he flips open this thing on his wrist,
Yeah.
activates it. And I thought it was going to be like a hologram that shows what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then it starts making a beeping noise
Yes.
that gets higher with every beep.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't take a genius to realise he's just set off a bomb.
Yes. I know.
And I love it because that's obviously it's like if these guys are on safari.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you sign your contract, you go to a plant to kill the local wildlife.
Yeah.
You have to sign a waiver saying if you get caught,
Yeah.
you have to kill yourself.
That's right.
That's what it felt like. So
Yeah.
like, all this information came to me that it just the way it did it is like
Yeah.
this is it. You win. Thank you. I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
And you better run. And that's why he laughs. He
Yeah,
laughs
yeah.
and he realizes. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's Billy's laugh. It's
You may
so
have got
good.
me, but you're screwed anyway.
You're screwed anyway. And it's Billy's laugh, and it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So somehow Arnie survives that though.
It's
Like
a
the
mini
big-
nuke.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a mini
And you
nuke.
see it like as they're hovering
Mushroom
over.
cloud.
I know. And you're like, and he just comes out covered in dust.
Yeah, he ran away from it.
Yeah.
It was a mushroom cloud, so
Yeah.
clearly it was a bit more than a firecracker.
Yeah.
And he's been flying back in the chopper, and the girl's in there with him.
Yeah.
So straight away I think, oh, so it was Billy who got
Yeah.
eviscerated, or I keep using that word.
Yeah.
Get his spine ripped out. And that's the end of the film.
The one thing I do like though is the last shot of Arnie is a mirror image of the first shot we see of him,
Yes, good point.
because like he's lying in the chopper again, head tilted back, but instead of being this kind of heroic image,
Yeah.
he's this beaten kind of exhausted figure.
Yeah.
And he's just doing exactly the same pose,
Yeah, right. That's
and I just thought that is brilliant.
clever.
I love it.
Yeah, clever. Yeah, he's full of arrogance, which is, again,
Yeah.
if you want to do a Vietnam parable,
Yeah,
that's what Vietnam wants from America. They
Yeah.
went in full of bravado, they had superior technology, they didn't win.
no.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
They crashed and defeated.
So yeah, that's the end of that film, and with it became history was made really. Like
I don't think at the time, again, with kids, I was like, oh, lowbrow, let's make fun of Arnold, let's laugh at the gun scene.
Yeah.
But all these films, if they do it right, you're still, you have that satisfied feeling at the end, like, oh shit, I've been taken to the ring here.
yeah,
What an ending, what a film. Like, yeah,
it's so good. Like and it still stands up. Like I said, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. You know, yes, as I said, that the new ones coming out, which kind of gave us reason to do this. But we've done the Alien franchise stuff, or you and I have spoken about 1 and 2. At some point, we'll probably get around to talking about the other ones, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, made me kind of go, yeah, let's have a chat around this because it falls into. I was even thinking on the drive over to your place as well that like within that genre there isn't many that's repeated this. Like Alien and Predator will always be kind of held up there, and what's been repeated since, like the one that came to my mind was Pitch Black with Vin Diesel,
That's a good film.
which was 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
And that's a long time after,
It
like
is, yeah.
to have like a creature feature alien-esque
And that
kind of-
works.
that works
Yeah, it
too.
really works, yeah.
And I really loved that film when
It's
it
a
came
good
out,
film.
and I still feel it deserves better praise than it does.
The
get,
Riddick films kind of hurt it.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was.
But the last Riddick film was okay,
Yeah,
but the one that came after, where it explored him and the universe,
yeah,
it's a good example of why it's like in Terminator. They don't spend a lot of time in the future. It's more about what it does in the past.
yes.
Although the last few films have kind of spent time in the future,
Yeah.
but because I thought Terminator 2 would be about the future, like he'd
Yeah.
won, he'd solved the problem. So that's what happens now in the future.
Yeah.
But he did it again. He realized, no, it's about Arnold. Let's make him a good guy this time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it works. T2
Yeah.
works. It's not about the future. It's Riddick worked. The Pitch Black was a great film.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they went into the universe of who he was,
Yeah.
So, no, the film tonally should be about creature that you that fucking fucks you over and that you got to get out of there.
Yeah.
Which is why the third film was okay. Cause
because it's trying to bring that back
Yeah.
to. Yeah, cool. So I think before we talk about the rest of the franchise, we should probably quickly just mention John McTiernan.
Oh my god, what happened to him?
Yeah.
He had the beginnings of being a great, I'm talking great,
Yes.
filmmaker.
So, I may edit this out because I might be wrong, but Die Hard is him, or no?
No, yes, the first Die Hard was him.
Yes.
The second Die Hard was the Dutch dude, the blonde Nordic dude who married Gina Davies.
Yeah, him.
But the first one is him. Hunt for Red October.
Oh yeah,
Great film.
I know you like
This, and then I think Drugs, and his career derails.
Yeah.
Something severe.
that one. Yeah.
I know there's a reason. There's an actual story behind it. I don't know if it was drugs or drugs led to a charge or something.
Okay. But the
yeah.
thing is, they do say that every great director only has a few.
Few in them. There's been
films
exceptions,
in.
obviously, clearly.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's a good example of that. But
Yeah.
I thought this guy's trajectory was on the up.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I loved this. I love Hunt for Red October.
Yeah.
I Die Hard. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
You want to talk about iconic fucking 80s?
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
right. That's right.
And then what else did he do? Then he ended up. Actually, I'm just going to briefly.
Yeah, you do that while I'm whistling.
You whistle. So, Predator, Die Hard, Hunt for Red October, Flight of the Intruder, Last Action Hero. That's when it started to unravel. That's when it started. Yeah.
That came back again. Oh, Last Action Hero.
He did.
I just had a flash of Charles Dance with a
He did do Thomas
Contact
Crown
lens.
Affair. And he did 13th Warrior, which I like. 13th Warrior.
Thomas Crown Affair remake with Pierce Brosnan rather than the Steve McQueen original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas Crown was alright. I
Yeah.
mean, 13th Warrior I liked. I don't know why people didn't vibe off it. But then, 2002, Rollerball.
Oh, he did that one.
And
Okay.
that's the last you've heard
So
of
he
him.
kind of liked picking up remakes.
He did. I think Rollerball was at that point, it was drugs or something. Debts in bankruptcy. He was bankrupt.
Okay.
Invasion of privacy, civil suit. This is just quickly going to Wikipedia. Charges of criminal felony conviction and incarceration.
Yeah.
He made a false statement to the FBI in February about hiring a private investigator to illegally wiretap Charles Roven, the producer of the Rollerball film. Yeah, so obviously it just went bad for this guy.
Oh, wow.
Because
watched it triple once.
Rollerball is an infamous film because it was the first to be influenced by Agricool News, was what killed it.
Oh, right.
The Agricool News guy hated it,
Right.
reviewed it, and those pre-reviews was killing it.
Yeah.
And they recut the film for him, gave him a new private screening, and he said, "Sorry, I still hate it." And that killed the film. And
Wow.
the film industry took one. The film studio. I remember one of the female producers said, "It's unfair that this man should have so much power."
Yeah.
But that's when they were realizing that the nerds were having a say.
Yeah.
From that point onwards, Comic-Con got a lot of investment from the film studios to try
Sure.
and get the nerd vote.
Yeah.
But that's why that's such an iconic film.
Wow. Yeah, cool. So what's so when you look back at the Predator, because obviously now, I always deliberately don't mention Alien versus Predator or any of that, right? So if we're just looking at the Predator canon, it obviously has spawned 2 sequels and a third one that's about to come out.
Yes.
What is it about the original Predator that kind of marks it so highly, do you think, and why people keep going back to it to try and recreate?
I thought it was an Aliens ripoff,
Yeah.
particularly at the beginning with these soldiers at the beginning, and they're just copying Crown.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the gun thing, and I was laughing at it with everybody else. By the end of the film, I've completely
Yeah.
not realised how much shit this is taking me through roller coaster ride. I think it's the moment where I thought Arnold was going to die, and that just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And they'd earned that moment really, really well.
Yes.
I couldn't see how they're going to get out of this.
Yeah.
The way they got out of it, I bought as a kid, even though it doesn't take a lot to step back and go, hang on, what?
Yeah.
But they earned the moment where he got out.
Yes.
So straight away, that's the thing you want as a storyteller, to bring the audience along, make them gasp, which I did,
Yes.
and just go, what's going to happen next? I can't wait. Tell me what happens next. Done. That's why it's done. It's got iconic lines.
Yep.
The Predator itself, the way the Predator was revealed visually,
Yeah, that's
at the
true.
time is very clever.
Yeah.
The sound bites it does, you never know if he's just parroting noises or he's actually understanding what they're saying. It just happens when what he says works over here. Turn around.
Yeah.
And anytime.
Yes.
he's just you. And again, clever. You can interpret it either way.
Yeah.
As a creature, he looks fantastic.
Yes, I agree.
As a physique, you believe he can physically beat Arnold.
Yeah.
You know? All that really, really works, and they've earned those moments.
Yep.
So that's why it works as a film. And then, as a crossover into Aliens, they did a very clever thing by crossing them over, and then they explored that, and then they've made some really bad movies.
Yeah.
On paper, an Alien vs Predator film should work.
Yeah.
Just none ever have.
No, that's right. Yeah. And they play on that in the second one as well. So, we're not going to go into too much detail on the next two films, but just to kind of explore where they did go with the second one and your thoughts on it. Obviously, going from the jungle to the urban jungle, as it were, of LA.
Yeah.
My kind of, before we get onto kind of the Danny Glover kind of replacing Arnie kind of thing, right? My thing on the Predator's journey in that second one, right, is that when I watched it recently, I was like, man, that guy was actually doing a good thing. He was going around killing drug lords.
He was.
Minding his own business, right? And it's only like when people are sticking their oar in, he goes, fuck off, I'm doing a good thing, right? And when I look back at it, I'm like, they should have just left him be. The police could have been better off. He alone could have cleaned up LA. Anyway, I like the concept. I did like the idea of going, right, well, we can't have it in the jungle again. What do we do? All right, let's kind of go a bit more insular and let's set it in. What would happen if you unleashed a predator in a city?
Yeah.
And what would that do? I thought, that's a good idea. He's killing off drug lords and all that, and that's pretty cool too. There's some great little moments in it too. From memory, before I rewatched it again, I was like, what do I remember about that moment? Danny Glover doing his Lethal Weapon shtick. I'm too old for this shit. Get me down from here. Get me down from there. I'm too high. He says that. This is the bit where they first kind of, go into the warehouse scene, and and he shoots the guy that's coked up to the eyeballs off the side of the building, and then he's asking his friend, the other fellow cop, to help him down, but he just helps himself down anyway. You're not that scared of the heights, obviously. Anyway, so I found it his character, the whole. It's kind of it was almost like the Dirty Harry kind of idea, and I felt to me he just never was.
He never did, and same thing with Brady for the next one.
They've never really and so I think that's been touched on a lot. There's never been a Dutch, to kind of go up against.
What they should have gone is if they wanted to do not an Arnold clone, and I think that was purely because Arnold didn't want to do it. They should have gone another Billy.
A
warrior, a true warrior.
Well, and it's almost like they try and touch on that a little bit with the sidekick cop character in Predator 2, who's got the Cuban kind of thing because he's holding the necklace thing, and it's almost like he's got this instinctive kind of intuition thing, but they kill him off. Right. So go figure. And the other thing was obviously Bill Paxton's kind of role in that. He very kind of played very similar roles in these. So you look at him in
True Lies,
and Near Dark as well. A very similar role, but he did it really well. Right, that's the thing. And he's this kind of loose cannon kind of character, but I liked him in this. He was watchable, believable, and he has his whole kind of almost aliens, the character in Aliens who's the weak.
He's kind of he's the crybaby.
Who ends up kind of saving, doing the standoff shoot.
He's a douche.
You go. I'll save everyone. He doesn't talk like that, but and the bit with the woman as well, being pregnant as well,
and refused to kill her. The thing with Bill, I didn't realise it till now, but it was always when they do the only thing I remember from the film was a couple of things I remember from the film. A few things. One, the director was a first-time director.
Yes.
And his E.T. interview was he gets his inspiration from comic books.
Yes.
Because he said the framing in comic books is really interesting.
Yes.
I want to take I remember thinking as a kid, that's clever.
He
said I want to take the framing in comic books into this film. Saw the film, didn't see any. It just was such generic action. I was like, this is so uninspired framing. Second thing was the only remotely funny, memorable line was when the alien gets his arm cut off. No. He gets attacked. He gets hurt.
Yeah.
No, his arm gets cut off.
Yeah, it gets cut off.
And then he crashes through this woman's apartment.
I know where you're going. Yeah, go on.
And then she, first he crashes in the apartment. He ends up smashing porcelain, turning it into liquid, and that pastes over his arm.
Yes.
This woman's about to knock on the door with a broom.
Yeah.
And then, he bursts through, punches the front door, walks out.
Yeah.
And Danny Glover comes in and goes, I'm a cop. And she goes, I don't think you give a shit.
Yeah,
it's done really well.
Yeah.
It's done really, really well.
I know. It's a brilliant. I love that dialogue. So
that
good.
was a good line.
Yeah.
The other one is the reveal, the skulls. You see an alien skull.
Yeah, that's the thing. The very end of that film is probably what elevates Predator 2 higher than it probably is as a film.
Exactly. And it's one of those things where you don't realise why that's... It's almost like it's in the back of your mind. I wonder if they share the same universe.
Yes.
But you never remotely articulate until you see the skull.
Yeah.
It's only because I realise now it's because fucking Bill Paxton's in the film.
Yeah.
That's why I had that in the back of my mind.
Yes.
And it's, from the first film Arnold stole Carl Weathers from Stallone.
Yes.
And the second film, they stole Bill Paxton from Alien.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I just didn't get that till now.
Synergy.
Yeah.
And how it all works together. And obviously, because the Danny Glover character finds himself in the spaceship essentially at the end. And this is where it goes back to what you were saying about how the theory about the second Predator is younger one and being more reckless. Because he does kind of essentially lose out. And the other predators appear and then carry him off. It's almost like it's like this ritualization thing. And it takes another predator to kind of... I still love this bit. And where he tosses an old school... I don't know
it's a pistol.
Arsenal very well.
Yeah, it's a
pistol, and it says 1790 something or other on it. With an inscription of someone's name on it.
Yeah.
And that to me always made me go, oh... They've been here before at the time when we were less advanced.
Yeah.
And I was like, how would that look if you had a less advanced predator against a less advanced humans? And I kind of thought, I like that idea. And I always wanted them to explore that, and they never did.
Well, it's back to me, and this is like back then I didn't get why they were doing that, but in this day and age, if you saw that, you think, I bet you there's digital media. I bet you there's a comic book.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
A web thing that explains what the hell that means.
Yes.
But it's a nice moment. The other nice moment was when they all decloak around him and he's one liners. Okay, who's next?
Yeah.
That was nice. But it's a nice moment where they can say, well, it's almost like what we would. It's almost like even whether we want to kill you or not, it's not up to us. You are his hunt.
Yes,
you lost,
that's right.
So fuck off. Here's your prize.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it wasn't a prize. He just said maybe he felt at the last second, well, you deserve some.
Memento.
But they turned their back on him, which is really.
I don't even know what this is, Abby.
Yeah. This yours?
It's just using it as a paperweight.
Yeah, get that one.
And then like the rip-off ending as well, where they explode. Like, well, not instead of an explosion, it's the engines of the ship.
Because that's why he was going to detonate himself, and then he cuts his arm off to stop him from doing it. That's right. What happens. Yeah, that's right. It's coming back to me now.
So then, Danny Glover then walks out into the urban streets again, covered in ash.
Yeah,
same kind of thing. Okay, so quickly talk about Predators.
Yes,
and I'm going to bow over to this because I'm going to bow over to you on this.
Yeah,
because I've only ever watched it once, and it had such little impression on me.
It was hugely disappointing.
Because wasn't this the one that Robert Rodriguez had initially written up?
Yeah, he wrote a treatment of it. The way it ends is the same. It's the treatment. The film, which I have the script somewhere, is pretty much the same as the film. The way it ends is in the movie. It's just Adrian Brody and Alice Braga, the two survivors, and they've won, and they've got to figure out a way to survive on this planet.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if this is in the script or in the movie, but these parachutes keep falling down from the sky to imply more are coming.
Yeah.
And they've got to figure out, okay, well, fuck, how the hell is this? And there's canon comics that have written that explore a year later what's happened to these two.
Yeah.
And I think they split up. They're together, and they split up, and they for some reason that's.
Right.
But in the original draft of the script, and it actually says alternate ending.
Yeah.
The Predators land, confront, and they all come out of the spaceship, just like in Predator 2. They confront Braga and Brady.
Yeah.
And the lead Predator walks up, takes off his mask, and it's Arnold. And Arnold goes, all right. He says something like, okay, boy, now it's going to get interesting or something like that. And it ends there.
Right.
So Arnold's become one of them. It literally said on the script alternate ending. So it was dependent on whether they could convince Arnold
to do a cameo thing.
And Arnold obviously said no.
Yeah, because it's a shit ending. I'm sorry. I would go, why is Dutch now? Oh wait, it's the T2. Okay. But why is he a predator?
Yeah.
Anyway,
So basically, the concept of that particular film is that the predators are now, instead of going to them, have made the prey come to them.
Yeah.
So they've selected about 8 mercenaries, people who are expert killers in the field.
Yes.
A sniper, like a CIA sniper, a Yakuza, a Spetsnaz, which is Russian special forces.
Yeah.
And Brody, who's a mercenary. And
so, like on paper, this to me is like sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds so good, and like you go, I like the way that they're kind of playing on the whole kind of gaming industry thing, not as in computer gaming. I'm talking about like hunting,
wild game,
wild game,
which is definitely a hot button topic.
Yeah. And that to me that's really interesting. I like the idea of doing that, and it has potential. And let's bring it back to like this kind of rainforest kind of terrain again, because that's where they hunt best. And I thought that's good.
Yeah.
Where did it go wrong?
I don't know. It was very. I don't want to say generic. I think like a lot of these films, the more you leave it, the more you suffer trying to come up with something new and cool because other films have done it.
Yeah.
So I remember this. Again, and the other thing too is a lot of the times these characters are figuring out what's going on. You already know what's going on.
Yeah.
So the first film you don't. And again, the first film staggered the reveal of the predator brilliantly.
Yes.
Straight away, it's a bit like zombie films. Whenever a new zombie genre happens, people, oh my god, Paul just bit Danielle. What's happening? Oh my god, what's wrong with Danielle? That's like you, the audience, going catch up. We know what's going on.
Yeah.
But the characters have to do it. If the characters do it too fast, like in the Thing sequel.
Yes.
The girl figured out what the hell's going on very quickly.
Yeah.
And so it went the other way. You and I were going, that's it. I mean, it's not a bad film, but she figured it out. And the beauty of the first thing was that the doc, the way he's trying to figure out and the way he's separated from the rest of the group, and the way he's concerned, and you can tell it's really intriguing.
Yeah.
So I think that hurts because you know what's happening, even though they're figuring out they're on an alien world.
Yes.
What are these things and why are they attacking us one by one? Well, I think they were hoping that the mystery of who each one was, because Topher Grace is the one.
That's right.
And he's a serial killer.
Yeah,
and he's not telling the others.
Yes.
And he's acting like this complete wimp when in fact he's actually probably the most dangerous one of the lot.
Yeah.
That was nice, but it still wasn't a great oh my god reveal.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was one of those things. It didn't reveal that much more about the culture of the aliens. There was 3 of them. That's right. They're super aliens. They're super predators.
That's right.
And the other predators were hunting other predators.
That was just purely for merchandise, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they were hunting those other predators. So, I don't know why. I mean, I think Brody's always an odd choice for that sort of role. They tried him for King Kong, and he didn't quite work as well. And he hasn't done anything since. He had 2 strikes, and his film career is kind of.
I know, because that's the thing. He's since his highlight was obviously The Pianist, when that kind of...
Yeah, that was what broke him big.
Yeah.
When he kissed Halle Berry in the hospital.
That's it, exactly.
So he was hot to trot.
Yeah.
So they tried him. I like him paper. The fact that he's not your typical action hero.
Yeah.
He just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Alice Braga I liked as well. If it maybe just about her, maybe that could have worked.
Yeah.
But again, same thing too. There's one bit where one guy... He's been separated from the group. They find him and he's sitting down. He's back to the group. He's not moving, but he's calling them out.
Yeah.
And it's the predator using his voice.
That's
right. Cut or whatever.
Yeah.
It sort of works, but again, it's the same stick of like, well, I know what this is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why it didn't quite work. It just came across as generic action.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Huh? And that's what I said. It's forgettable.
Yeah.
And so, like, now we come to this the latest one that's due to come out in September, and the trailer's been released for it. 2 trailers have come out for it. The first one made everyone go, "What the fuck?"
The opening shot is really interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a Freddy Krueger horror film where this kid opens a box.
Yeah. I know.
Suddenly, this is a very different genre.
Yeah.
Suddenly, I'm going, "That's brave."
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with this.
Yeah.
And he pulls out the mask or something.
It's like a little kind of homing beacon thing. Looks like, but he thinks it's a spaceship. Starts playing around with it,
yeah. So he plays around. Yes, right, and calls in the spaceship. And then the second trailer is a bit more generic, where it's a bus full of soldiers.
Yeah, that's right.
And one of them's Keegan Peele.
Yeah, one of them's Keegan Peele. And I only just realised that Alfie Allen's in it as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
And he's not. I don't remember him in the trailer. I just saw. I literally was googling about it recently, and I saw that he's in the cast. I was like, "Well, who the fuck's he in it?" You know. But at the moment, my look, there's two things to remark on what I've seen of the trailer. One is that it seems like they're trying to go even more insular by having it literally suburbia is
Yeah.
where this predator is going to get unleashed.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of, I guess they're trying to make a comment about how danger, like, because originally, like, you've got the whole kind of rainforest terrain. It's alien to us as well, but it's like a wide canvas where this is hunting ground. Then if you look at the Predator 2 as part of that canon, you're kind of getting closer to home because it's within a city, but it's a sprawling mass. It's LA, one of the most sprawling cities on this planet. And from the look of things, we're going very kind of town, essentially.
Yeah, right.
So it's almost like they're going further in, because obviously they went the other direction with Predators and went, completely unfamiliar planet,
But then, again, they touched that one of the Alien versus Predator movies is where they take apart a town.
Yeah.
And they fight in the town and they end up fighting in a hospital. It's kind of like Left 4 Dead. We end up in a hospital, locked on a rooftop trying to get in a helicopter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it's kind of been done. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting question to pose to filmmakers.
Yeah.
Give me a Predator sequel, go.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Are you asking me that now? Because that to me is the thing. I don't know where you would go with it, other than, like, as I said, the idea of Predators. I kind of went, that's interesting because you're using the whole hunting ground thing. Because, like, there's not so many options for differing terrains to use within a hunting ground, because that's what it is. That's essentially what it is. So where do you take it that you can make it frightening and believable at the same time? I don't know. I don't know where you would go with it. It'd be kind of interesting to see it.
Would you then do it in an environment? Because, like I said, my big thing is the reveal. What are they? You spend half an hour for the characters playing catch up. Yeah. Would you do it in a situation where the characters know exactly who they are and they're just trying to survive? And so therefore, any new reveal about who they are and what they're doing can be, that's your reveal that you pace throughout the film. Sure. Why do these people know who Predators are? Is there some sort of history? Yeah. If you do it in, say, a future Earth, where, like, 100 years from now, maybe in the time with the Marines from Aliens, and they're well aware of these guys, they've been at war with them or something. I don't know. Would you do that? Then again, does that get too far away with the spirit of Predator?
Because, like, even that, there's a bit with in Predator 2 with the Gary Busey and the Adam Baldwin kind of military group that decide to try and hunt and flesh this thing out inside a warehouse abattoir. That to me, and they supposedly know what this thing is in order to flush it out. And that was one interesting thing with that too, is that you find out that it doesn't just hunt on infrared.
It has multiple different kinds.
And I was like, oh, that's actually quite interesting, because it can choose what method of approach it's going to hunt its victims. I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? Because, like, you always want to have the human angle in it, but I feel like we've already explored that. It's almost like you'd want to take the Predator and take it, have it hunt something completely different. Yeah,
and I tried that with the aliens. They tried to set up this culture where they always fight each other.
Yeah, that's right. And that doesn't work.
It doesn't work because the aliens are always creatures of instinct. Yeah. With some intelligence. Yeah. With Predators, clearly they've mastered spaceflight.
Yeah.
So it's not quite the same. Then you have, like, an alien that's half Predator, half alien. Yeah. That doesn't quite work either for me.
So it comes down to, like, it needs to be some terrain that's not been used before, Right. And I don't know the answer to that. Like, you could go underground, but then that's kind of been done with the Descent, with the creatures from underground.
Brilliantly.
Yeah. You can't really go frozen landscape without people going, you're just doing the thing. So do you know what I mean? It kind of you're kind of like, because it's also got to be able to have some. That's why it worked so well with the first one, because camouflage is its thing, right? And the whole kind of point of camouflaging within the rainforest and the jungle works, because it's what military do, like, in order to sneak up. It's something that we all instinctively know, and this is what this creature is then doing back onto us. I don't know where that's why I think it's a struggle. It might be one of those ones that it's probably better off left.
It wasn't meant to be a franchise.
Yeah,
maybe.
So, as controversial as that sounds.
Yeah, dude. Crazy, mate.
All right, last thoughts on the franchise as a whole. Are you amped for the new one?
Not so much? Always.
Will you go and see it? Yeah, cool.
Absolutely. I will go and see it.
So that still says there's something about that, then, doesn't it? There's a reason people want to go and see the Predator.
You always have hope. Yeah. That they'll just nail it.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, for Keegan.
I mean, I tell you what would be an interesting one, to turn the tables and have humans go try and out predator a predator.
Well, yeah, maybe trying to hunt. Well, that's a good one. That's a good idea. Humans trying to hunt it down. Like one is wounded or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the predator has natural instincts to survive these things, and then slowly he's able to
turn it over. If you
turn
make the
the table
predator
back.
the
victim.
character point of view, the victim, that's a good idea.
There you go.
Try to capture one. Maybe a baby one or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Is it females?
Lily's little mandibles.
Oh,
it's so cute.
Yeah. But but the fact that they've got a comedian like Keegan Michael is in this, it's an interesting.
There's an interesting cast in there.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just literally googled up executive decision, and that John Leguizamo and I didn't say his name right there. Sorry. But they're two comedic actors.
Yeah.
And the other guy's name is Wong. Forget his surname, but they were both part of Steven Seagal's executive team, and these guys are badass commandos, and like one was in To Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. He played the drag queen in that, and his next film was an Executive Decision where he's a badass commando. And then same thing with.
I know who John Leguizamo is.
Yeah. And,
so he's behind this with a new one.
No, I'm just saying. But you get these. D.B. Wong he usually plays a gay guy in a lot that he's a commando. Like, having comedians play these roles, it's like who's the guy in Ant-Man?
Oh yeah, Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd was trying to be an action hero.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I don't know. It's for me. I think comedians. That's the whole dark thing about their personality. They're really quite dark. Yeah. If you give them, like, Robin Williams is a great example.
Yeah.
When he goes dark, he's quite scary.
1 Hour Photo is a great example of that.
He's a really scary motherfucker.
Yeah.
I think certain comedians can pull that off.
Yeah.
Because it's just under the service to be. There's something quite evil there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah. Keegan pulled this off, but the fact that I've used him as one of the action heroes.
Yeah, it's true.
Is interesting. And you see the skits that he does with Jordan Peele. They do skits on zombie genre. They do skits on mafia genre. You tell they love guns and
that's
stuff
right.
like that.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. But I don't know. It is. I mean, Aliens franchise has been going forever. There's only been 2 good films out of that.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
And Cameron was clever. He stayed true to the spirit of what it is, but he gave us something different. Yeah. That didn't betray that, and then to do that again is tough. But and you actually have to be good. Like, just simply get the right performances, be a good director. Do the fundamentals as well. That's where a lot of these fall apart. Like, Predators could have been great. Maybe it fell apart in the execution. Yeah, probably. Because you said the idea make you go, okay, tell me more. Yeah, that's right. It does. And then on paper it sounds like Adrian Brady's a hero. Back then I would have gone, oh yeah, cool. Yeah. Just don't know to the execution. That's right. No, you're right. Absolutely. But great film. Look, it was the heart of. If you name the 80s films that captured the spirit of the 80s, that would definitely be one of them. Yeah. No, definitely. Lethal Weapon, 100%. Aliens, all those. Yeah. Dude. Just the feel they have, the vibe. Yeah. And it's the reason why they're going to that well now. Just tapping it. Yeah, I completely agree. There's so much. I mean, you're right. You've already said this, but the fact that people like us who grew up with the 80s movies and are so heavily influenced by it are kind of going back there and trying to recreate these movies they grew up to love, you know. And Stranger Things has done that. Yeah. In terms of capturing that magic of that particular genre. That's right. It's done it quite brilliantly. Mm-hmm. So for sure. Yeah, I mean, my overall thought of the film, it's definitely. I said in one of the articles I wrote for Surgeons how one generation's popcorn film becomes a classic. Yeah. Next generation. This is a great example of that. Yeah. It was so disposable when it came out as a film. All the reviews, I bet you find all the reviews at the time would give 2 stars out of 5. Yeah. Just a generic action war Hollywood film. And as a kid, I didn't care about that. I just wanted to watch it. Yeah, that's right. I just came out thinking, that was cool, and I thought. Yeah. But now you look back on strong affection on it. Hasn't aged. No, that's the thing. Even some of the effects with it ropey, but even some of them are so passable. Like you just Anyway, but as a story, it's been told. It's a storyteller's film. He revealed the story, which is why I thought John McTiernan was going to go to be the next Spielberg. Right off the rails. Yeah. But he revealed it. He told the story. He tells the story that period, Hunt for Red October. And and the other one, and Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
He just gets it.
Yeah.
What happened to the
Oh,
guy?
I know. It's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, on that note, obviously, this as you're listening to this out there, will come out just before the latest Predator film hits the cinema screens. But yeah, do kind of stick around and let us know your thoughts on that latest one as it does arise. And no doubt, Ant and I will come back and have a quick natter. Probably go and see it together and have a natter about it. We'll see. But until then, I'm your lead host as always, Paul Farrell, and join me of the Predator franchise discussions was Anthony Yee.
Hi.
Till then, goodbye.
You're listening to the Surgeons of Horror podcast. Music supplied by Peter Nezik. For more discussions or podcasts, head over to surgeonsofhorror.com or head over to our Facebook and Twitter sites for the latest news and updates.